Hey, so I heard a quote the other day by Gabor Mate, who I adore. That responsibility is the ability to respond. Been thinking so much about the difference between responding and reacting lately, especially being the parent of a 15-year-old that just makes me want to fly off the handle so intensely, so often, and always having to come back and then apologize and just be like, yeah, totally overreacted. There it is in that word, the idea of overreacting. No one ever says I over-responded. There's no such thing, It's just like, but what it is to overreact and be behaving from a space of reaction rather than behaving from a space of responding, it is like worlds of difference. One is considered and deliberate and intentional and has awareness imbued within it, and the other one is like, it's protection. When I feel like I'm reacting, I'm totally in a space of protecting something that I feel like the other person wants to take from me or doesn't understand about me. There's this like, oh, about it. And I know that feeling. I know that feeling so well, too well, because I always do damage from there. When I'm really reactionary, unnecessarily reactionary, overreactionary, I do damage. I totally do damage. So this quote really spoke to me because it spoke to me about the idea of having the ability to respond. And we talk about responsibility a lot. Like, it's like you should have you should be more responsible, or you need to show a bit more responsibility, or you've got the responsibility to be better at that now. It's like, as I raise kids and then reflect on my own behavior, I'm like, well, am I being responsible? Am I able to respond? Do I have that ability on tap, or am I still at the mercy of my reactions? There's a time and a place for reactions, mind you. Like when you're, in the shit and you're having to like do something fast and think fast, maybe that's a reaction. Actually, now that I think about it, I think that's still a response. I think when you're really able to go to think fast and act fast, you're actually responding. For me, every time I react, there's a frenzy to it that actually has a mania to it, because it's coming from a place of protection. And ultimately then I think it's coming from a place of like my wounded child self ultimately. Anyway, back to the ability to respond. So over the last few years, definitely in like my counseling space, whether that's in counseling with my husband, John, or in kind of conversations with my kids, the idea of responding versus reacting has come up heaps. But it's like, how do we stop it when that reaction impulse is so quick, like just grip you by the throat before you even know what's happening? I always compare it to like, I was like gagged and, gaffer taped in the boot with my reaction driving before I even knew it. It's like I wake up just drowsy, just going, oh, what just happened? What damage did I do? Right? So for me, what I do to kind of get my responsibility up, my ability to respond up, is what can I do to break? What can I do to interrupt the moment between something triggering me and me acting on it? And I use this term a lot, and I use the idea of stop, drop, and roll a lot. And for me, this is stop, drop, and do not act. Like that ability to go stop, drop, and think. Stop, drop, and feel. Actually, that's the one that it is in this situation. So what it is when you actually feel so triggered on something, and there's a total embodiment of such charge, that is not a call to action. That is actually a call to inaction. That is a call to an inward gaze, to take a moment to go, what is that thing? That is not the time to like lash out. It's like, and sometimes with my kids or with my partners or with my friends, I'm like, I am super charged right now. I can't even answer that, or I'm just going to take a second. And they get it now, because it actually means I'm not about to spew a whole lot of shit all over you that I'm going to have to apologize for. And that is responsibility, because in that moment, in that split second where I chose to not react, I'm responding. So whatever happens after there, if I'm able to stay with that, even if I'm not able to verbalize an actual response, the fact that I'm not acting on that charge and that reaction puts me in a response space. And then I have the ability to respond. It's such a work in progress. But I definitely see a correlation between how much I meditate and how much I have any kind of a handle on that split second between the feeling, the punch, the wound activation, and then the lash. If I can get a split second between that wound activation and the lash, I'm responding. I'm being responsible. I'm able to respond. So I really appreciated hearing that the other day, and it really just put that concept in a great little capsule for me, that I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm activating, or I'm learning how to be more able to respond. Not just for the people around me, but for myself, because in that moment where that thing comes up and where that charge is fired, that is a doorway. That is a sign. That is a clue to something that is seeking to be met. And in that moment, rather than being so outward and kind of lash and claim back, actually tending to whatever that space is, as uncomfortable as it is, and how much charge and adrenaline you can have, to actually just truly tend to that is an act of incredible self-generosity in my experience. And and the sort of the uplift from that space is exponential. Yeah, it's a real switch.